Welcome to News Center Maine at 11. I'm Bailey Cornick. We start tonight with the dramatic scene that's still playing out in Portland's Old Port. Sometime around 5:45, people reported hearing an explosion on the waterfront. A short time later, a plume of smoke and flames were visible on Custom House Wharf. If you're unfamiliar, Custom House Wharf is right in the center of Portland's popular Old Port. The restaurant, The Porthole, has been there for decades. Harbor Fish Market are both out on the water. Andy's Old Port Pub and Gilbert's Chowder House sit where it meets Commercial Street. Now, fire broke out on a Friday night at a time when many families are out for the holidays. Our Ryan Bell has been in the Old Port since shortly after that fire broke out. He was there just 90 minutes ago when the Portland Fire Department held a news conference about the fire. Ryan, what can you tell us now?
Yeah, hey there, Bailey. A lot of good context there in that intro. Along the Custom House Wharf here, I'm going to step aside before we get to some information from the deputy fire chief there and just give you a quick look at the scene. Still a couple of fire trucks here, but we are a little bit closer than where we were in some of these earlier hits and have a better idea of what some of this damage looks like. We have the Maritime Antiques building, which suffered, the brunt of some of this damage, and then further down, there's a building that is just completely collapsed. There are state fire marshals on scene here investigating, we're told, and also some firefighters still spraying a bit of water here and there from what we've seen. But we also want to get to some pictures earlier tonight and just give you a look of what the fire looked like then as I bring you some of these details now from Deputy Chief John Hendricks. The original fire started right here on Custom House Wharf Road, but it was reported by a Casco Bay ferry line. They drove by and reported that around 5:30. The fire department says they had it under control in about 2 hours. When they got there, there was flames coming right out of the roof. They said they ran into some issues with water and frozen hydrants. We saw some of those hydrants. There was one that was just spewing water everywhere, no hoses attached. So clearly some issues there as they were trying to get in. But they did say they used water from some fire boats on the back side of the building. That's where we were located at 6 o'clock. That's where that Portland Pier is. It's just parallel to this Custom House Wharf, which is the kind of road that we're on now along the waterfront. They said a number of boats in between those two, so the Portland Pier and the Custom House Wharf, there's a number of boats that were kind of parked in between in the little bay area there. They said a number of those boats were damaged. One may have actually sunk. They also said that those boats, the fire boats that is, sprayed significant water from the harbor, and they were supplying it for the backside of the building, again on the Portland Pier side. There was one minor injury to a Portland Fire Department member. Again, this all according to Deputy Chief John Hendricks. The age of the building also made the spread very easy. He said it was like a tinder box. Some of this wood is just super old and dry, so the fire was easily able to spread across multiple buildings. Those three buildings being the Seabags factory building, and we said earlier it looked like, the old Seabags building. There's actually two Seabags buildings in close proximity here. There's one out there on Commercial Street, and then there's another one that's just down here on the Custom House Wharf. The second building that suffered significant damage, possibly a total loss, is that Maritime Antiques building. And then the final building all the way down on the end, we're told, is some sort of repair shop often used by lobstermen, but no official word on what that shop is. But we will get to the soundbite now from Deputy Chief John Hendricks, who, like you said, talked in a press conference just hours ago.
Any access during the winter time is a challenge for us, but certainly down here on the wharfs and the piers, getting down to the end of them. As you can see, we can only get a couple of trucks down here at a time. And then water supply is a big issue. Without the fireboat pumping us from the backside, a lot of these water mains are exposed to the temperatures. The fire marshal is investigating along with our fire investigators. So they have done a preliminary investigation. They don't have a cause at this time. They're going to meet again tomorrow morning to do a more in-depth investigation.
So again, we know that state fire marshals are investigating. No cause yet to be determined. We will have a crew here again tomorrow morning, so tune into the morning report. Christian Harso will be down here with more live reporting as they try to investigate and determine what may have caused this fire. But for now, crew still on scene. We'll keep you updated as best we can via our social media, via our website. But that's going to do it for our coverage here tonight on News Center Maine. We'll send it back to you, Bailey, and we'll hopefully have more in the morning.
All right, Ryan Bell with some excellent context there, reporting on the Portland waterfront. Thank you so much, Ryan.